Manjinder Singh Sirsa has also reacted. We are, of course, trying to get in a word from many of those who were present at the headquarters. Many of them, in fact, instrumental in putting together that Sankalp Patra, that document. Let's listen into Manjinder Sirsa.
400 पार तो लोगों ने मन बना लिया था, लेकिन जब ये मैनिफेस्टो पढ़ेंगे तो जो लोग बचे थे, जो लोग अभी भी पार्टियों के धर्म के नाम पर अड़े हुए थे कहीं ना कहीं, आज वह भी मजबूर हो जाएंगे कि साथ तो एक ही आदमी का देना चाहिए, नरेंद्र मोदी का।
Okay, so one of those reactions that's coming in, remember, top leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party were present at the headquarters when the Prime Minister unveiled, of course, that Sankalp Patra. The Prime Minister, of course, Aishwarya, making it very clear that only a clear mandate will ensure that the BJP is able to fulfill all the promises that it makes to the electorate going into these elections. That's, of course, if the BJP were to come to power on June 4th. He says only a clear mandate, because there are some very tricky situations, of course, concerning the implementation of UCC, the implementation of One Nation, One Election, which is going to face some amount of resistance, at least from regional parties.
Well, definitely, we will see that, and we have seen how most of the opposition parties, in fact, have also been knocking on the door of the Election Commission, the ECIA, and asking the ECI how are they looking at going about the One Nation, One Election thing that the BJP has been speaking about. Let me tell you, one of the things that Prime Minister has been speaking about is the fact that he says that crores of rupees are being spent. That money should actually go into the hands of the people. So one really needs to stop being in this election mode forever, and that is exactly what the ECI also at the moment is looking at, asking the people that you need to vote for me, because what I say I deliver. My promise is Modi ki guarantee. That's what the crux of the manifesto today, Paul B, is Prime Minister himself now saying that I will make sure that I am giving you a promise, and I have shown you over the past 10 years, over the last 1 decade. The top leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Paul B, have been speaking about the fact that whatever Prime Minister says, he does it. It is his guarantee, and today that's the guarantee that they have now put in front of the people, asking them that you need to vote for us. And when you go through the states, Paul, you do see how most of the people are keeping Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the front, the party symbol, the second, and then comes the person who's fighting the elections. So it's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the front, Modi ki guarantee, and that's exactly what most of the BJP candidates, the top leaders, have been speaking about. You need to vote for us so that we can make sure that India becomes a developed nation. Paul.
Right. Aishwarya, stay on with us. Mr. Avasthi, who in fact is a member of the BJP's Manifesto Subcommittee, is also joining us at the moment. He, of course, is giving us his perspective on things. Of course, Mr. Avasthi, the opposition will say, what about job guarantee? What about tackling of inflation guarantee? What is the BJP envisioning concerning this? It's all about UCC, it's about holding simultaneous elections, but what about issues that are being faced by the youth of the country, by the poor of the country in terms of job guarantee? Unemployment is on the rise. What about inflation?
So there are 2 points to be made here. First of all, I don't have the statistics in front of me right now. But as far as inflation is concerned, the rate of inflation is not that high. And in the economic system that we have, if there is economic growth, of course, there will be a slight bit of inflation. And so you, of course, cannot have a situation where there is absolutely no inflation. But if we put things into perspective, it is much better than it was between 2004 and 14, where there was low economic growth and inflation. So I think as far as that is concerned, this is, of course, one of the reasons why the people of India have chosen to repose faith in Mr. Narendra Modi's leadership twice. And as far as the opinion polls, if you look at the opinion polls, it seems that it is going to be a third time. And as far as the employment situation is concerned, I do feel that most of India is in any case working in the unorganized sector. And I think I don't remember the report, but if we look at the latest data from the NSSO, it seems that the employment situation has also eased up. Ultimately, the proof of the pudding is, of course, in the eating. If people really do feel that their lives have improved, they are going to vote for us. And if they feel that their lives have actually gotten worse, then they are going to vote for the opposition. But we are in another peculiar situation here, wherein people feel that even if they have some problems in life, they don't trust the opposition to solve them. Whenever the opposition manages to get a state government here and there, it is voted out maybe after one term. So their governments don't even get repeated, and that is, and the reason for that is that people have absolutely no faith in their competence. I mean, look at our country. At the time of our independence, we had an industrial base that was very, very impressive by Asian standards. And in the 1980s, we fell behind China when the Congress party was in power. These people like to talk about per capita GDP now, but we also need to examine as to when was it that we fell behind China and East Asia. So even if there are problems, yes, there are problems. We have to tackle them. There are systemic issues with the economy. We have to build capacity very quickly. There are problems when it comes to education and health. But we also need to examine as to what sort of progress we made over the last 10 years. And the second point we also need to examine is that how badly everything was mismanaged by the Congress, which is the reason why we find ourselves in the state that we find ourselves in.
Okay. Mr. Avasthi, thank you so much for joining us here on India Today this morning. Also, thank you to my colleague Aishwarya, who was joining us earlier from the BJP headquarters. We're slipping into a very short break. On the other side, stay tuned. Rahul Kabal will be joining you. But before that, just a couple of what things the Prime Minister said in terms of making those promises as part of the BJP Sankalp Patra. Listen in.
भाजपा सरकार ने गरीबों को 4 करोड़ पक्के घर बनाकर दिए हैं। अब जो अतिरिक्त जानकारियां राज्य सरकारों से मिल रही हैं, क्योंकि परिवारों के विस्तार होते हैं, एक घर से 2 घर बन जाते हैं और खुद नया घर बनाने की शक्यता संभावना नहीं होती है, तो उन परिवारों की भी चिंता करते हुए हम 3 करोड़ और घर बनाने का संकल्प लेकर के आगे बढ़ेंगे।